Welcome to another exciting episode of Know Your Faith series. I am Collins, and today we will be talking about something that is very, very important to us as Christians and as Catholics. Today we will be talking about grace. Now, as from our Christian doctrines, we know that grace is a supernatural gift from God bestowed upon us for our sanctification and salvation. Now, grace is the love of God given to the unloving, the peace given to the restless, and the unmerited favor given to sinners. Now, so just as we need strength of body and mind to attain our physical and our human goals, so we need this grace of God to be able to attain eternal life. Okay, so some may put it simple to say that grace is like the opposite of karma, because grace is mercy and not merit. And for those of us who believe in karma, believe that karma is getting what you deserve. Well, grace is about getting what you don't deserve. Okay? And the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches us that there are two types of grace: the sanctifying grace and actual grace. Others may go further to, classify it into sacramental graces. These are the graces that you receive upon each sacrament. There's grace for a state of life, for being a priest. There are certain graces that you receive for being married, being a religious person, and unlike that. And there's also graces for certain offices being held. For example, maybe offices being held as a laity chairperson, the president of a society. There will be graces bestowed upon you to be able to carry out this role. Now, on today's episode of KYF, we'll be focusing mainly on sanctifying grace, and on the next episode, we'll be talking about actual graces and how to access this grace of God. So according to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, it defines sanctifying grace as a habitual gift, a stable and supernatural disposition that perfects the soul itself to enable it to live with God and to act by His love. So it is infused in us during baptism. So upon the sacrament of baptism, we receive this sanctifying grace, and it stays with us throughout. So it's an eternal, once you receive this, it stays with you basically throughout your entire life. Now, this doesn't mean that the fact that you now have this said grace of God, you can then go about, behave or live your life anyhow you want to. The church teaches us that grace is backed by faith and works. So it's not just by feeling like you've already received the sacraments and thinking that you can go about living your life anyhow. It is important to back this grace of God through the faith in Him and continue to show it in your works. Like St. Paul tells us, we should continue to live a life worthy of emulation. Now, this grace is what is responsible for our, day-to-day communications with God. Despite the fact that we are sinners, we can always turn to Him and still have that communication with us, with God. We know that we've sinned, but this sanctifying grace allows us to have that continuous, day-to-day relationship with God. Now, like I said earlier, all graces, both sanctifying and actual graces, can only be backed through faith and work. So it's important that in your daily, as you continue to believe in God, continue to believe in the teachings of the Lord, it is important that you actually live your life in the right way and not just feel that you've been backed, we feel like you have the sacramental grace of confession anytime you sin. But if you keep on thinking in that direction, then I really don't know what to say about that, because it's important that we know that the grace is not just enough, but we have to back it up through faith and works. So on our next episode of KYF, we'll be talking about actual grace and how to access this grace of God. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please feel free to like and share our content. Please also remember that you can support us and you can visit our website, www.dominicanmedia.com.ng, to find out how you can support us. Until I come your way next time, be bold and be Catholic.